Not every customer is a good customer. And one of the biggest mistakes I see pool operators make, especially early on, is treating every inbound call like it's a good sign up. Like the goal is just to convert whoever calls, take every account that comes your way, and worry about whether they're an actual good fit later. That mindset's gonna cost you every single time. Some accounts are quietly draining your time, your energy, and your margins every single month. And the longer you hold on to them, the harder it gets to grow. The operators who build a clean, profitable, low-drama route aren't just good at marketing, they're better at qualifying. They know how to identify the right customer before they ever show up to service a pool, and they know how to let go of the wrong ones without having to apologize for it. I built Tiger Shark pools here in Las Vegas to multiple 7 figures in revenue, and one of the things that made the biggest difference wasn't how many calls we got, it was what we did with the calls that came in. In this video, I'm going to give you the complete framework, what a good customer actually looks like, how to qualify every lead before you commit, and how to price so you attract the right people. We're also going to talk about how to deliver value that keeps them for years, and how to let go of the ones that are costing you more than they're paying you. I'm Gianluca, welcome to the Splash Lab. Now let's get into it. First off, let's talk about what a good customer actually looks like. And we can start with the foundation, because before you can qualify anyone, you need to know what you're looking for. Now the best pool accounts are just going to be straightforward. Standard residential pools, no elaborate water features that break constantly, no resort-style setups that take twice as long to service, no equipment so old that something's always failing and somehow always your fault. Just a clean, simple pool that gets serviced weekly, pays on time, and doesn't generate drama. Pool that fits your service model in a location that works with your route at a rate that makes sense for your business. Here's what most operators don't figure out until they've been doing this for a few years. A simple pool that pays $160 a month and never calls you is more valuable than a high maintenance pool paying $200 that's texting you every other week with a complaint. Complexity is going to kill your margin every single time. The math might look better on the high maintenance account until you factor in the callbacks, the stress, the hour that your tech spent at the one house that should have taken 30 minutes. When you're evaluating any new account, ask yourself 3 things. Does this pool fit my service model? Does this customer seem reasonable? And does this address actually work with my route? If the answer to any of those is no, use that information. Use it before you sign them up, not 6 months after. The next component here is going to be pricing. Stop starting at the bottom, because this is where most operators hurt themselves before they ever get started. If you're the guy that's pricing at the low end of the market to pick up accounts faster, you are building on a foundation that will crack. Here's why. Low price customers are not loyal ones. They're price customers. They came to you because you were cheap, and they will leave you the moment someone cheaper shows up. You haven't earned their loyalty, you've rented their business, and you're doing it at a margin that doesn't leave room for a tech, for equipment, for your own time, or for anything that actually matters. Back in my days at owning Tiger Shark, we went through rate increases at different stages of the business. And every single time, the outcome followed the same pattern. We raised rates, and yes, we lost some accounts. But the accounts we lost were almost always the ones we were relieved to lose. The price shoppers, the chronic complainers, the ones whose monthly check was not worth the weekly headache. What we kept were the good customers, the ones who valued the service, paid on time, and didn't make our lives difficult. And because we weren't servicing the bad accounts anymore, the margins opened up. We could afford to hire, we could invest in the operation, the business got better. I say this to reiterate that you shouldn't be the company competing on price. Compete on your value, know your market rate, price at or above the midpoint, and when someone cheaper calls, thank them for the inquiry and let them go. A customer who leads with price is telling you exactly what kind of customer they're going to be, and believe them. The right customer isn't looking for the cheapest option, they're looking for someone reliable, someone professional, someone who shows up, does the job right, and communicates with them like an adult. That's what you are, price like it. Now I want to jump into the qualifying framework and the 5 questions we asked that changed everything with the way we qualified new business. Here's what the average pool service operator does when a new prospect calls. They answer the phone, they give their rate, and if the customer doesn't hang up, they book the job. That's it. No questions, no qualifying, no real conversation. Just a rate, a time, and a hope that it works out. And a lot of the time, it doesn't. By the time you figure out this customer is a problem, you're already 3 months in, you've serviced their pool a dozen times, you've done callbacks you shouldn't have done, and you absorbed complaints that had nothing to do with your service quality. And now you've got a choice between eating it or firing them, both of which cost you something. The fix here is simple. You qualify before you commit. Not in a scripted, robotic way, but in a professional, curious, and conversational tone. You're not interrogating them. You're getting to know them, and while you're doing that, you're gathering the information you need to decide whether this is someone you want on your route. Here are the 5 questions we use at Tiger Shark on every single call. Question number 1. What's got you looking for pool service? This has got to be your opener. And the answer to this tells you more than most operators realize. There are really only 2 answers to this. Either they've been taking care of the pool themselves, or they're unhappy with their current provider. And those 2 questions are not equal. When somebody says they've been handling the pool themselves, pay attention to this. This is often a seasonal customer. They manage the pool through the off season, and now the summer's coming and they want help. Come September, when the weather cools off and the pool gets less use, there's a real chance that they're going to cancel. Now, that's not always the case, but it's a pattern worth flagging early so you're not caught off guard when they call to cancel in the fall. Now, on the flip side, when somebody says they're unhappy with their current provider, that's a warmer lead. They've already decided they want professional service. They're not on the fence about whether it's worth paying for. They're looking for the right company, and that's a completely different conversation. But you need to dig deeper. Question number 2 is, what's been frustrating you with your current service? This is where you separate the easy wins from the red flags. A lot of the time when someone's frustrated with their current pool guide, the complaint sounds a little something like this. He's in and out of my backyard in 3 minutes. I never even see him. I don't know what he's actually doing out there. That complaint is a layup for you because that's a value problem, not a price problem. And if you can clearly articulate what your service actually looks like, what you check, what you document, how you communicate, you're immediately differentiating yourself from whoever they're talking about leaving. But sometimes this frustration can be different. Sometimes it's just, I feel like I'm paying too much, or I found someone cheaper and I'm thinking about switching. That's the price customer telling you exactly who they are before you ever sign them up. And here's the thing. When the frustration is price, listen carefully because the answer to your next question is going to tell you everything. There's another red flag I want you to listen for specifically. When someone leads with a complaint like, I found a leaf in my pool the day after they serviced it, here's what they're actually telling you. Pools, number 1, are outside. Leaves are gonna fall, debris happens between visits. A customer whose primary frustration is finding a single leaf after a service visit is a customer whose standard is 0 tolerance for imperfection. I don't care who you are, you're not going to be able to satisfy that customer either. You're just the next person in line to try. Pass on these people. Question number 3. What have you been paying for service? This one is direct and it matters. Ask them what they've been paying, not what they want to pay, what they have actually been paying. Because that number is going to tell you exactly where their expectations are anchored. If they come back with a number that's significantly below your market rate, that's a signal. They've been conditioned to a low price point. Moving them to your rate is going to be a friction point from day one. And in my experience, customers who are already at the low end of the market price are the ones who are most likely to push back on rate increases, dispute invoices, and churn the moment someone cheaper shows up. At Tiger Shark, if someone told me what they were paying and it was well below where we were priced, I'd factor that heavily into my decision. Not an automatic disqualification, but combined with the frustration that was purely about price, that combination was almost always a pass. Now remember, you're not obligated to take on every account that calls you. Remember that. Question number 4 is what's most important to you in a pool service provider? This is the question that most operators never think to ask, and it's one of the most valuable ones on the call. Ask someone what's most important to them, stop talking, and let them tell you exactly how to close them. Exactly what they need to hear to feel confident signing up with you. Some people are going to say reliability. They've been burned by a no-show. Your whole pitch should center on consistency. Your scheduling, the fact that they will always know when you're coming and when you're going to be there. Now, some people are going to say communication. They want to know what's happening at their pool. Talk about how you document every visit, how you reach out proactively, and how they'll never have to wonder what's going on. Some people are going to say quality. They want someone who actually cares. Lead with your standards, your processes, and what you check on every service visit. The point of this is, let them tell you what they care about, then speak directly to that. That's not manipulation, that's just active listening, and it's the difference between a call that converts and one that doesn't. Question number 5 is set expectations before you close. Now this isn't technically a question, but it might be the most important part of the call. Before you take a credit card or send out a service agreement, set expectations clearly, on the call, out loud, so there's no ambiguity about what they're signing up for. For us at Tiger Shark, this meant telling every new customer exactly what our service includes, what we check, what we treat, what we do at every visit, how billing works, how we communicate, and what our response time looks like. We laid all of it out before they ever signed anything. And then we sent them a service agreement that re-outlined everything we just went over in writing. So there's a reference point if a question ever comes up later. Now this does two things. It eliminates the "I didn't know that wasn't included" conversation 3 months down the road, and it also filters out the customers who aren't a fit before they ever sign up. Because when you lay out exactly what the service is and how it works, the customer who are looking for something different will tell you right there on the call. And take that as a gift. You just saved yourself from onboarding someone who is going to be disappointed from day one. The customers who hear your expectations and say, "That sounds great, when can you start?" those are your customers. Now, quick pause here, guys. If the qualifying piece resonates with you, you need to know about Splash. Splash is the software platform we built specifically for pool service businesses. And one of the things it does really well is customer communication. Two-way SMS, automated service notifications, visit documentation that goes straight to the customer after every stop. The kind of proactive communication that turns new signups into a long-term account. If you're still managing customer communication manually through text threads and phone calls, go book a free demo and see what it's all about. The link is in the description below. Okay, now let's move on from here. Let's say you've qualified the lead, priced correctly, you've set expectations. Now you have to keep them, and that means delivering value and communicating like a professional, consistently, not just on the first visit, every single time. Delivering value in this industry is not complicated. You need to show up on schedule, every time, leave the pool cleaner than you found it, treat the property with respect, close the gate, don't leave chemicals on the deck, make sure the equipment is running when you leave. That sounds basic, and it is, but the bar in this industry is genuinely low enough that doing those things consistently puts you in the top tier of operators in your market. Then there's communication. This is the one most operators skip, and it's the one customers remember most. If you're out at a pool and you notice the filter pressure is running high, tell the customer. If the equipment looks like it's been struggling, flag it before it becomes a problem. Don't wait for them to call you asking why their pool looks green. Be the one who reaches out first, every single time. Proactive communication is what turns a 1-year customer into a 5-year customer. It is what generates referrals without you ever having to ask, and it is what separates a professional operation from a guy with a pool pole and a pickup truck. Now here's the part most people in this industry won't say out loud. Some customers just need to go, and you need to be willing to let them. I'm not talking about a customer with a legitimate complaint. I'm talking about the ones who are never satisfied no matter what you do. The ones who nickel and dime you for every invoice, the ones who talk down to your technician, the ones who call you on a Sunday about something that happened on Tuesday, the ones whose account is not worth the energy it takes to manage it. I remember I had a customer at Tiger Shark I held on to for way too long. She had a pool pushing 20 years old, equipment well past its prime, and every single time something went wrong with that equipment, it was our fault. At least in her eyes it was. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter if the pump was original to the house or the heater had been limping along for years before we ever touched it. Every issue was on us. We were going back to her house almost every week. Callbacks, explanations, free service visits, trying to keep her happy. And she never was happy, not once. Now here's what the account was actually costing us. It wasn't just the wasted hours, it was my team's morale. Every time one of my techs had to go back to that house, it was a frustration. It was time pulled away from the accounts that actually valued us, and it was energy, mine included, that should have been going towards growing the business. The moment we let her go, it felt like putting down a weight we didn't realize we'd been carrying. Problem customers have an invisible cost that doesn't show up on an invoice. It shows up in your stress and in your team's morale, in your capacity to focus on what actually matters. Every hour you spend managing a problem account is an hour you are not spending on growth. So how do you let these people go? Professionally. Give them reasonable notice, wish them well, and move on. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to get into it. You can simply say something like, "We're not going to be the right fit for your needs moving forward." That's a complete sentence. Say it, mean it, and don't look back. All right, now you've raised your standards, you're qualifying every call, you're pricing correctly. Now, how do you make sure the phone keeps ringing with the right people? First, referrals from your best customers. The customers you love working with almost always know people just like them. Don't say if you know anyone, say, if you have a neighbor or a friend who's looking for reliable pool service, I'd love the introduction. Specific asks get specific results. And a referred customer who comes in through someone you already trust is almost always going to be a better account than one who found you through a random search. Second, build your Google business profile. If you are not showing up when someone in your service area searches for pool service, you are invisible. Get your profile optimized, get reviews on it, ask every good customer to leave one. Make sure your service area is set correctly. This is a free marketing tool that works while you sleep, and most operators in the industry are not taking it seriously enough. Third, be selective about where you take on new accounts. A new customer 2 miles off your dense route might not be worth the drive time. A cluster of 3 new accounts in a neighborhood you already service is gold. Route density protects your margins every single time. Every time you add an account, ask yourself whether it makes your route better or worse. Better customers don't just happen. You build toward them by raising your standards, qualifying every lead, pricing correctly, and being willing to say no to the accounts that don't fit what you're building. The bottom line, here's the kind of pool service business you want to build. The one that runs without chaos, that has real margins that you're actually proud of. The business is built on the right customer. Not the most customers, the right ones. And it all starts on the phone before anyone ever shows up at a pool. A professional, curious conversation. 5 questions woven naturally into real dialogue. What brought them to you? What's frustrated them before? And what they've been paying? What matters most to them? And a clear picture of what working with you actually looks like. That framework doesn't just help you convert better leads, it helps you avoid the wrong ones entirely. And in this business, the accounts you don't take are sometimes just as valuable as the ones that you do. Simple pools, fair pricing, consistent service, proactive communication, and the willingness to let go of anyone who doesn't fit what you're building. That's not being picky, that's being a professional. Now I'm curious to know your thoughts on the video. Drop a comment below and tell me about some of the red flags you've heard on sales calls that saved you from a bad account. I'd love to hear about it. And if you're ready to run your customer communication like a real operation, go book a free demo with Splash. Now if you've made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more weekly content on building a killer pool service business. I'll see you in the next one.